BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, is betting big on the AI boom. Josh Schafer is here with those details. Josh, what does that look like?
Yeah, Shauna, I was over at BlackRock today for a media presentation on their second half of the year outlook. And one of the biggest takeaways was AI and really sort of what AI means when we think about the broader markets and what could happen over the next couple of years. So they called it a, quote, mega force. And other things that they call mega forces include aging populations and the low carbon transition. So that's how high up we're stacking AI, right? Saying it means that much. And something that was interesting that came up was Tony Desperito, one of the BlackRock CIOs, said that basically the difference between AI and some other bubbles we've talked about, or if we're calling AI a bubble, we've talked about the metaverse a lot, right? And he said the difference here, when you think about this 2 years later, is the demand is real. When you think about a company like NVIDIA and you think about all the GPUs that are being ordered and the fact that there are actually orders coming in, you can see how this contributes to earnings quicker, which I found pretty interesting. And then I do have to give a shout out to our friend Sam Rowe over at Ticker. He asked a great question about the valuations, right? We've seen these stocks go way up. When we think about NVIDIA up over 100% this year, even you could throw in some of the other ones like a C3 AI or something up hundreds of percents, right? It was interesting to hear what BlackRock said back to that question, essentially saying, well, yes, the valuations are getting very, very high, so you want to be nimble, but we're not saying necessarily buy into AI right now as much as stay invested. Stay along for the ride. If you got in on this ride and you've been on the ride for 2023, they recommend staying in it, which I found interesting.
Yeah, that's such a critical point because I think when we talk about all this hype surrounding AI, a lot of people have brought up the hype that we saw around the metaverse and even bringing it back to blockchain and crypto and what exactly played out there and wondering whether or not AI is going to go the same way of it. But it sounds like, at least from BlackRock's perspective, that is totally different. And it's very important to make that type of distinction.
Right. And the other thing, too, is they were talking a lot about AI isn't just tech companies, right? We're not just talking about semiconductors and talking about search. AI can also help you with jobs, and it can help you sort of basically be more efficient when it comes to spending. So when you're thinking about AI investing and you're thinking about these companies, it becomes important to think about who is an AI spender. How much is that going to increase their cost? Because if everyone has to incorporate AI, there are going to be certain companies that just have to pay for AI. It just becomes an added cost, right? And it doesn't necessarily help their profits, versus there are going to be companies that are selling AI and using AI to bring down their profits. And that is where, of course, you want to be investing, is companies that are increasing their profits.
Yeah, and that's why so many companies are mentioning AI and their investment there to what they hope to be for their help, their productivity. But we'll see. All right, Josh Schafer, thanks.